Hi, everyone. We are very excited to have the director of one of the most prolific and breathtaking films which has been created in the Indian cinema history. And we are getting a chance to speak to the director. So I would just welcome Nag Ashwin sir on BritAsia TV. And on behalf of the whole audience from UK, India, and the globe, a very warm welcome, Nag Ashwin sir.
Hi, hi. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you so much.
You know, the moment everyone heard about it or saw the trailer, I think there was excitement, all across the globe to see something like this emerge. But I just want to go to the core inception or the start of the idea. Where did it all start? How many years the effort has taken to bring something like this?
We started working on this post my last film. So,
Mhm.
so I'd say about 4 years, 4.5 years. We've been thinking about it, writing it, casting it,
Right.
making it. So yeah, it's been that long.
Trying to understand the spiritual Indian, genre. So yes, we all have heard Kalki as the, incarnation of Lord Vishnu, but just want to understand the world you've created because we've just seen visuals of the film. And yes, I will talk about the massive scale of it, but just to understand from the core idea of it, if you can tell our audience like what is the film about and the world it enters.
So Kalki is set in the future. It's basically something that it's a story that happens in the last age of what we have four ages in Hindu mythology, and it's the birth of a god and everything that surrounds it that would support or go against the birth of this final avatar. The core of it is that the core of it is just the coming of the last avatar, the last hope.
Right, right. And I think you would have been asked this question multiple times, looking at the stellar cast you've got. I think nobody can even imagine bringing these, legends together. So were you also thinking of the names or, how did you create this whole universe of having such legends as part of the crew? Like, were they like your first thought, and finally we get to see the brilliant cast?
It was, I think it was definitely a wish list for both the producers and me.
Right.
And we were just lucky that the story was good enough or exciting enough for them to agree to come on board. Because, I mean, all of these people like Bachchan sir or Kamal sir, Prabhas, Deepika, they're all at the peak of their careers, right? They're the best of whatever they're doing. And the only thing that can excite them is the story. So we're pretty happy that they trusted us and came on board.
Amitabh Bachchan, sir, the legend, right? Anything you want to share, approaching him being part, and the visuals, spectacular.
Bachchan sir is how he was part of the project is probably not as dramatic because it was a few narrations and some pitches, and he trusted us enough to come on board. But every time he was on set, we shot with him quite a few days, and every time he was on set, and there was so much action, and every time he would surprise us or just make sure that the whole crew was, he would just patiently wait even if a shot was getting delayed, or he would insist on doing shots even though it's something that could probably be done by a double or a dupe. Or he was just an inspiration to everyone on set. I think
Right.
by far, like, I think if you ask anybody on our crew, like each of us would have a story about Bachchan sir, and just one step that takes him to that legend status. And I don't think we've seen him in this avatar in I don't know how many
No, we
decades.
haven't. Yeah.
Decades, yeah, right. Like, because he is the original action hero, and now that's just watching Prabhas and him, the biggest, the tall, angry
Exactly.
young Lord of
Exactly.
Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Nagi, did you pinch yourself during the shoot of the film that, what's happening? Like, you've got the stellar cast, like on paper, like nobody can even say you can bring, these fascinating talents.
For me, I think once they were on board, the clock starts ticking for making sure I do justice to them. So I don't have the brain space to really revel in that. I think everyone around me is in awe. All the other technicians or
Yeah.
whoever's there,
Yeah.
they're like, "Wow, it's Amitabh Bachchan." But for me, no, it's Ashodama, and I have to get the shot right because I have to do justice. I
Okay,
have to
you
do
can,
justice.
the director can say that, yes.
Yeah, I don't.
Yes,
I don't have that. I didn't give myself that luxury to be in awe of either Prabhas or Bachchan sir. For me, it was only Bhairava and Ashodama. So.
absolutely. And Kamal sir, Prabhas, Deepika Padukone, how was it to, get all the legends and them directing them, having them for the first time in such a massive project? How was the overall experience for yourself?
Each of them elevated the characters in the film more than what was there on paper, probably, and more than what was there in my imagination. So that's what really matters, I think.
Directing such a scale of project, like how challenging is it? What were your sort of big obstacles, or did everything fall into place to bring such a spectacular film to a global audience?
uh it was definitely a lot of work. There's no doubt about it. In terms of like just designing everything, sure, the visual effects are a whole different ball game. Like there's months and months and years of work, actually. I think it's a bit of both. Like I would definitely say it's a lot of work. It's really crazy amount of work that came through from all departments to make this happen. Costume, light, even the molders, carpenters, managers, everyone just had to put in, because this is nothing that has been done before. So even a small prop, you can't just say, just bring it, or it's not like if you want food the next day for a shoot, it's not something I can just say, get some food. Like you have to design it, you have to think about it, and what sort of yeah. So there's so much work that went into every day of shoot. And but but I also would say, like, whatever your second part of the question was, did it all come together in a way? I guess it did, because there were 100 things that could go wrong every step of the way. But the fact that we're here and we're talking
Absolutely.
means that something really helped us make it to the finish line.
Absolutely. And I think, audiences have been demanding, looking at the last 3 years in the global cinematic phenomena. Like, we
Yeah.
are in BAFTAs, we are in Oscar, we are getting nominated in Cannes. Did you have any of the, say, wish list for the film reaching, the most cinematic awards and the cinematic events on a global level?
For this film, very purely, it was just, let's get our budget back. That's all. That's that's all the award that we wanted, or I wanted anyway.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Is there anything which is in your wish list which hasn't come through? Because this film and the trailer looks like, whatever. I think what we are trying to like experience is that your vision, you brought everything from your vision on the celluloid. You've got everything. Was there anything from your wish list which you felt which was missing? Because I think as audiences, we are feeling that this is such a never seen before kind of film, and the viewers are going to love it coming from India.
I think I'm happy because for the most part, all the audience, especially the first 2 3 days, the reaction has been positive across the world, actually, like every country. Even the few criticisms that we got from reviews, they're all valid, but I feel even in that, they've understood and they've accepted the film for what it is and for what it's tried to do. It's just the scale of the film that, it always requires more time. It's such a mountain that if you give me another week or you give me another 2 weeks, there'll still be something to do and maybe make it better. But we did what we could, and I think it's come out satisfactorily, and people have accepted it across the world. So we're happy.
No, absolutely, it's come out brilliantly, inspirational, and I think nothing like this has been seen in Indian cinema. So it's been brilliant. What are those first things you heard from your industry folks or somebody sharing their review, and it felt so good to hear from maybe the legends. The legends are with you, or from any people from the industry.
It was all positive, man. Like it was just like, it is, so many people have said this has just opened up doors for so many, like, my director colleagues, they've all been
Yeah.
like, just opened up doors for us. And actors are like, you just unlocked a new, level of what we can do and achieve. So these are all positive things. Like this is what the movie, we can hope that, it does, that it can open up either like filmmaking or creative or business or whatever possibilities that were not possible before this film. So
Absolutely, because as an Indian, when I saw the film, I was like, till now, sometimes we feel that India is not producing a film which is, right there as per the global sci-fi, VFX. But I think the film, it looked brilliantly well. So you must have been hearing this from the fraternity, from your friends, and specifically to the UK audience or to the Indian diaspora. I think obviously they're taking a lot of pride in the fact that the film is, you know. Is in the same world as many other international. Anything specific you felt because the story is so global, but while designing, directing, and crafting the whole film, did you think anywhere where the global audience, each person, whether whichever world you live in, you can relate with the film for a global audience?
I think so. I think because the world, or this, the world is set up in a time and in a place where everything is together. It is a new kind of world where all cultures and all races are living together. So I think, more than any other film, I think people will relate to this once they watch it. And it's a very Indian pace. It doesn't look like a Western sci-fi, Tokyo neon, that kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
our
yeah,
own
yeah,
Kasi, our own Indian space. So
yeah,
that I hope will be the unique part of it.
yeah. One last question before we wrap. So, we want to understand, was it your world and you've been developing it over the last few years, or this is one of your projects and we get to see completely different world being created in your next?
As far as Kalki and all of anything related to this is, yeah, this has been what, yeah, this is my world, yeah. I mean, if it's a different movie, it'll be different, I guess, but yeah, yeah.
Brilliant. I want to just ask you one question. Any Indian filmmakers who are writing stories and who are wanting to build the scale like this film, what would be one of your advice for aspiring filmmakers? Because to bring something like that in the Indian cinematic landscape is not easy. And we can understand looking at the scale of the VFX, the cast, just the story, sound, design, everything. What would be your sort of thing? Because I think this looks must have been like a dream to bring this cast together and the project and be the captain of the ship. So what would be your sort of advice for young filmmakers who want to deliver something like this?
I mean, it really starts off with the story, and it takes a long time to get that right. Not hurry up, not hurry and be self-satisfied. I think, get the story right and then get an actor interested in the story. Those are the only two steps that matter, I think. And after that, things will fall into place one by one.
You have said it very, very nicely and easily, and I think, but I can absolutely understand. We can see the visuals. It's come out brilliantly well, and I want to just congratulate you for delivering something like this for the global audience. Thank you so much for giving time, and we just hope that it breaks all records and does
Thank you.
what Indian
Please,
cinema
please
has
go
not.
watch it. Please go watch it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.